We remember the dead, all those many hundreds across the northwest who have died due to the exposure to asbestos. To read all their names would take more time than we have here today, but remember each and every one of them, and we commit ourselves to fight for the living. Thank you.
We remember the dead, all those many thousands killed by all work-related illnesses such as heart disease, lung disease and cancers across the northwest. All those hundreds of workers killed in work-related incidents across the northwest. We remember the founder FACCRS, Michael Adamson, Samuel Adams, Craig Whelan, Mark Wright, Mike Houghton and Lewis Murphy. We do not know the names of most of the workers who have died in the northwest, but we'll read out the names of those whose deaths have been reported to the HSE between April 2010 and April 2015 as we remember them all. We remember all those workers in services and water and waste management who have died since 2010. David Astley, Tony Schultz, Zbigniew Galka, Eamon Kabil, Stephen Garrett, Niall Page, Dorothy Ann Harks, Grant Kinney, Susan Brooks, Daniel Lobb, Christopher Morris, Mahesh Masinga, Ricky Gespins, Brian John Pownell, Ernest Horton, Craig Gray, Malcolm Harrison, Philip Davis and Carl Morris.
John Bassett, Russell Joslin, Mike Proctor, Fiona Bone, Nicola Hughes, Darren Morley, Paul Williamson, George Howler, Stephen Hunt, Nigel Chester, Terry Lewis, Daniel Adams, Mark Foley, Gary Blundell, Jason Haslam, Peter Sahar, Craig Jones, Javid Iqbal, Mohammed Yassin, Clive Stedman, Caroline Bailey, Scott Gibson and Delroy Finney.
We remember all those workers in manufacturing who have died since 2010. Stanley Ian Hurd, James Bibber, Thomas Elmer, Graham Begley, Robert Dunroe, Alan Cattrall, Chris Cowan, Liam O'Neill, Leslie Brown, Martin McGlasson, Jason Pennington, Michael Wickstead, Michael Smith, Craig Allen Phillips, Mohammed Shakil Abu, Andrew Bowes, Cameron Mitchell.
Christopher Williams, George Falder, Richard Ferris, Bruce Dempsey, Nathan Brown, John Flowers, Gray Jackson, Michael Moran, Ian Oliski, Sean Dodgson, Richard Calson, Richard Reddish, David Miller, Ben Pallier Singleton, Jacek Asamowicz.
Peter Cochran, James Dennis Kay, Lee Bourne, Matthew Nixon, Andrew Dytick, James Sin, Edward Fitzgerald, Anthony Coulsby, Carl Green, Gregor Sotko, Gary Mellor, Lindsay Richard Easton, Michael Sweet, Graham Redfern, Justin Faber, Anthony Jackson, Carol Lastos and Jason Fogarty.
Ivis Baramis, Alan Smith, Neville Hurd, Jeffrey Davis, Adrian Smith, Henry Jones, Scott Harrower, Maxwell Lewis Gray, Christopher Crammon, Vince Richards, Stanley Cooper, Richard Brown, Benjamin John Edge, Darren Richardson, Benjamin Wiley and Steve Whedon.
We remember all those agricultural and fishing workers who have died across the northwest since April 2010. Sean Bennett, Thomas Postlethwaite, Peter Coutts, Colin Elwood, William Wilson Bow, Andrew Davis, Wilfred Bennion, Mark Colts, Stephen Rimmer, Tony Ayton, Peter Hilton, Thomas Martin Sanderson, and we commit ourselves to fight for the living.